Well, it's where he's been going since he was a child. And one thing I feel sorry for Prince Harry's children is that they don't come, they don't have the summers at Balmoral with their cousins. Where I mean, it's an amazing place. It's so safe for children. It's got rivers. It's got mountains. It's got deer, wild deer. It's the most beautiful part of the world, let alone just Great Britain. And they know, and it's one, and he's been going there since he was a child, and he knows every inch of it. He knows everybody. He knows all the tenant farmers. He knows all the estate workers, and he knows them all by their first name. And the great thing about our late Queen, she loved about Balmoral, was that she went there, and for that's 8 weeks, 6 or 8 weeks, she was there. She was just a normal citizen. She just had nothing to sort of get up and get ready for, and nothing to prepare for. She got up, probably had her breakfast, and go for a stroll, probably go out with the shooters. But for that time, they're just normal citizen, and then of course the estate workers and the staff, they just speak when they're spoken to. They don't bother them, and they just, even the policemen that they're guarding the place are hiding in special huts so that they're not on site when she's walking through or the king is walking through. So he will spend a lot of time at Burke Hall. That's where his Scottish home is, and he'll spend a few weeks at Balmoral when the Prime Minister comes and visits, and of course the Braemar Games and the Gillies Ball. So all those things, those annual events that happen there, he'll be there for them. But most of the time he'll be at Burke Hall, probably doing a little bit in his garden. He loves gardening. And but almost certainly walking in the mountains, walking in the hills. So for him, it's and I can see why he loves it. Having been up there recently when they opened Balmoral to the public, I was reminded of how beautiful that place is. The grounds, the castle, it's huge, like 50, I think 37, 57 acres of beautiful, beautiful mountains and forests and lakes and rivers. It's just stunning place. So, for him, and of course Camilla loves it too. And Camilla, you know, probably picks him up after she's had her lunch, because he won't eat lunch. He never eats lunch. And they'll go walking in the mountains and probably take the dogs with them, and just have a really nice, relaxing time, and get chatting to each other, and not just all about what's your next engagement, and have you got your dresses ready for Australia. That'll all come, but not while they're not having a break. And of course, all his posts will be delivered up there from London. He'll still get that every day, and then there'll be demands on him from foreign ambassadors about events. But I think he'll deal with that, because he always does, because he's just a workaholic. But mostly he will try and relax, and whether he's still having his treatment or not, I don't know. I imagine he is, and so probably have times when he has to have his treatment. But he looks well. He looks tired, but he looks healthy, and hopefully he'll be a lot better by the end of the holidays. I mean, the Royals now are winding down. I mean, the King will be covering a couple of engagements up in the very north of Scotland, where he stays at the Queen Mother's castle there, Glamis Castle. He'll be there at the Castle of May. Sorry, we'll be starting the Castle of May, and he will do a couple of engagements there, and then he'll head to Balmoral, where he's going to spend most of the summer, the rest of the summer. He, and as well as Catherine, deserves the rest. I think he's had a little bit of a rest this week, although he's probably working hard in the office. He's got a few more engagements. He's got a job in Scotland next week, right up in the north of Scotland, and then there'll be a short ceremony at Balmoral when he arrives, and then I should imagine he's going to just put his feet up, do a bit of fishing and a bit of stalking and walking in the hills with his wife, and hopefully he'll get a really good rest. And I've watched this man for years, and I just know that when he puts on a great act. He's always smiling, laughing, engaging with people, making them feel better about themselves and the day they're having. And he is just an amazing man. But I think he's looking forward to the rest, and I hope that he does get it. I hope that he doesn't spend all day in his office, working away on papers and red boxes and stuff like that, and gets out and smells the roses.
Might he have one eye on that Australia trip?
Well, that's all been planned anyway, and of course, one part of it has been cancelled because the doctors thought it was too much for him. The main part of the whole trip, anyway, is the Commonwealth heads of government at the end of it when he goes to Samoa. Now, this is an island nation, and they're going to be the heads of the Commonwealth and their entourage, plus press and TV and stuff, going to flood to this island. I think, and he's going to be there for a couple of days, and he's going to head up that. That's important to him as it was to the late Queen, the Commonwealth, and he's now head of the Commonwealth, and huge responsibility that comes with that. And of course he knows all the heads of government. They all come to see him when they visit London, and so he'll be engaged in that. And then he'll come back, and I think he'll be just exhausted because I know I will be. I remember when I went with Ireland with Prince Charles, and he was asked, the national game of Ireland is hurling, and he was given a hurling stick and a ball, and he belted the ball out the ground. Now he could have hit that and missed and looked stupid, but he hasn't. I mean, Diana was incredible as well. She broke the mold when she joined the royal family. She did it her way, and her way was the best way by far. I remember when we first went to the HIV clinic at the Middlesex Hospital, and everybody was very nervous about this disease that was just taken over as it was the number one illness in the world. And when I went into the room and she hugged the patients, I thought, this woman was giving a message out, do not be frightened of this. It's fine. And that's just one of the things she did. And the last thing she was doing was landmines, a campaign against landmines, walking in a minefield walking in a minefield in Angola, or when we went to Bosnia and doing the same thing there with young boys that lost their legs through being blown up by landmines. So this woman never stopped campaigning. Now, she was criticized for that, but mostly she was admired for that, and I admired her for that too. I mean, Diana was a bit different from Catherine. She could let you have a bit of her mind, I can tell you, if she didn't approve. But I've never seen that with Catherine. Never seen Catherine not just really in great humor all the time. But Diana had her moods, but by God, she opened all the windows at Buckingham Palace. She let all the light in and all the fresh air in, and made a great difference. And I must say the papers day after day were full of her, and you couldn't miss an engagement with her, because if you missed an engagement, you'd miss the fact that she was wearing her hair in a different style. She was wearing her necklace back to front. She was wearing pop socks, or she was wearing culottes. She was always surprise you, and you could never, ever, ever miss one of her engagements, because you'd miss a great picture. And this woman, yeah, she just, I don't know what, only two people know what goes wrong in